Okay, so basically I had a strong and somewhat unfamiliar urge to recenter and reassess and check in with myself and be alone in an intentional way that I don't normally lean into. I often think to myself, like, what am I if not a compilation of reflections? And like the main intention for these moments was to re-enter into a space for creating and writing. And I had just woken up from one too many dreams with the line of a poem I was dream composing. And like one was like, out of your lips to mine, so let the unfiltered self flow into me. But like, what does that mean? I don't know. Something else I've been wanting to do is like, but haven't, is make a sex ed series of like videos and interviews. And I wanted to do this for a long time, but I hadn't yet.
You are a temporary lover, oh, leave me only for prettier women. You know I need too much attention for shit like that. No, you're wrong for shit like that. I could be a supermodel if you believe. If you see it in me, see it in me.
So yeah, I believe that cheese is a drug and that it contains transformative properties, even if those may include indigestion. And a thought that I wrote down was how much of writing is thinking and staring, how much of writing is resolutely not thinking, how much is flowing down the river, and how much is sitting upon the banks. And I actually did end up writing, not as much as I might have wanted, but still much more than I had been. And I reread some things too, and it's something that stays with me even as it fades and comes and goes. Because it's like kind of like this type of thinking where I sit and force myself to do nothing, like not even meditate, and just let the thoughts flow around with no fixation or meaningful goal or absence. I have desire for discovery, and it's just like silence and the non-sounds in my mind. This is me stretching. I like stretching. I highly recommend Cat Cow. It just fades away the issues. And then as a reward for all of my very hard work, I watched the movie Us and Them, which I cannot highly enough recommend. It was touching and beautiful and one of the best movies I've seen in so long. It made me cry a lot, as you can see, in a good way. I'm going to read the subtitles for this next part because it's kind of hard to see and it's important to know. So she says, I don't want to have a story with you. Me neither. Wait, let me ask you something. What if in your game the boy could never find the girl? If Ian could never find Kelly, then the world would be colorless. And that's when the tears really hit because like, wow, that's so sad. And then afterwards, I immediately listened to the movie's OST and worked on my emotional state because it made me think, quote, of all the others who have touched me in my life and who floated away. Will we ever meet again after all this nowness is done? And in some senses, I hope so, but it might not matter. And then I painted around all of my resolutions for the new year, which I put a lot of weight onto because I don't usually take the time to reflect and figure out actions for what I want to change in myself. But I like painting a lot. And then I gave myself a haircut. And it's kind of strange because the last time I was growing out my hair in this way was 4 years ago. I'm a senior now, and I was a senior then, only I forbade myself from cutting my hair then because I knew once I started I wouldn't be able to stop, and because I love to do it. It feels like a cycle, but it's more of a spiral because it's different now than it was then. Like, things are not the same. Yeah, and you'll see one of my greatest social shames here, and is that I won't ever be able to rid myself of the duck face. I will regrettably stay with me forever, and I have accepted that. And then voila, the side bangs have arrived. I feel like femininity and hair are strange in how they interact, but I like to feel beautiful, and I feel beautiful like this, and that's all that matters right now in this sense to me. Overall, it was sublime and a blessing to be able to have this time and space.
I need you,